Hi, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Alli, and we are Gearheads at Backcountry. Today we're gonna talk about climbing shoes. We're gonna get into some different profiles, aggressiveness versus non-aggressive, and we're even gonna talk about some of our favorites.
We've dropped timestamps into the description below, so feel free to jump around as you see fit.
Let's get into it. So before we get into our top picks, here are a couple things to think about when you are choosing climbing shoes. The first thing we'll start with is the profile. So if it's a neutral shoe, it's gonna be super flat. It's gonna feel like your street shoe. A moderate shoe is gonna start to bend towards your toes, and then an aggressive shoe is gonna be like an eagle talon, very pointy, and usually is not comfortable to wear when you're just standing. It's meant for climbing.
Different levels of aggression depend on the kind of terrain that you're climbing in, as well as experience. So a flatter shoe, a stiffer shoe is going to be better on that more vertical or slabby terrain, whereas something that's really aggressive, pointed downwards is going to be really nice for steeper bouldering or sport climbing.
And if you're just starting out, choose the shoe that's most comfortable for you. You can always visit one of our stores. Our Gearheads are super great at helping people find shoes that fit their feet. And you can also order a couple pairs and return the ones you don't like.
So you wore these when we tested out a bunch of these shoes. What do you think?
Yeah, so I wore these sport climbing, and I was sport climbing way above my pay grade. I usually climb in the 11s, project some 12s occasionally, and I got on a 13A wearing the Mad Rock Drone Comp Series low volume shoe. What was really incredible about these shoes is that they felt really sticky. I wasn't in the right shoe size for me. I only got to choose from one size, and it was a little bigger than what I would normally wear, but my toes felt like they were actually on the wall. Like, it was really impressive how well this like talony toe really stuck to all the teeny tiny holds that I was stepping on. Another cool factor is it has this like concave feature on the underside of the toe box, and it actually helps your toes like curl around it, which is kind of a wild thing, and like to be able to see it on the bottom of the shoe is really cool. This shoe has extreme friction rubber. It is super duper sticky. I never felt like I was gonna have a foot slip in them. I really felt like super connected to every foothold I stepped on, even when they were minuscule, like teeny tiny little crystals. This shoe features a single strap, which I personally really like. It, you know, when you have a strap over the toe, sometimes that can be your wear indicator. I love that this one just has a single strap. It really helps you tighten the fit without having to adjust too much. It also has tons of rubber on the toe, so if you're throwing a bunch of toe hooks, it really helps you stick and feels really solid on the wall.
Yeah, I really like that quick on and off with the single strap too. So for me, I really like them for bouldering or the gym as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was wearing them sport climbing, but they are a comp shoe. So if you're wearing them in the gym, they're really gonna shine when you're like dancing across volumes, doing really futuristic movement, but they also work in classic applications like on hard technical sport climbs. In terms of sizing, this shoe is a low volume shoe. You can tell by the little LV on the side. Its high volume counterpart looks almost identical except the L is an H. If you have a wider foot, like my friend Dylan here, go for high volume. And if you have a skinny foot, the low volume is a better place to start. What do we have next?
So this is the Ocun Sigma. I found this one to be really great in steep terrain, especially sport climbing with the lace system to dial in the fit. It's got a really nice aggressive shape to it, so great for that steep climbing. You could use it bouldering or in the gym as well. It was also super comfortable for being a pretty aggressive shoe. It's got this really nice microfiber suede on the inside that was great when I was hanging out in it all day.
Suede, sounds fancy.
And then it's a much stiffer shoe compared to a lot of other aggressive shoes. So if you're doing a lot of edging, this is a great option. It's got a bunch of toe rubber on the front here, so great for any technical toe hooks. And it felt pretty good heel hooking as well. There's the crux move on the route that I was trying that day. It has a pretty technical heel that slots in, and this one felt like it executed perfectly. I sized the same as I would for my approach shoes, and it felt pretty comfy. You could probably size half a size down if you want something a little bit more aggressive.
Do you typically downsize, Dylan?
So it depends on a few different factors. The shoe and the material that it's made with. If it's something that's gonna stretch a lot more over time, then I might downsize to counteract that stretching. Or if it's gonna be something that's a little bit more aggressive, I'll downsize. But if I'm trad climbing in, a trad shoe that I'm gonna wear all day, I might size up for comfort. Or if I'm just getting something for the gym, then I might size that a little bit differently too.
Yeah, I find for myself, it's like I'd rather have a more comfortable shoe than one that is super performance oriented. I still find that even with a shoe that is my actual size, I can climb just as hard as people that have shoes that are 2 sizes too small. I just don't complain as much about my feet.
One really cool bonus feature of this one is it's got this little lace pocket in the top of the shoe here. So after you tie your laces, you can tuck them in here and they'll stay out of the way. So if you're using, if you're throwing any toe hooks and you don't want the laces to get caught, I thought that was really nice.
I have a very important question about the lace pocket.
Yes.
Can you fit snacks in it?
You could probably fit approximately 5 gummy bears.
Those are important. Sometimes you need those with you.
Yeah, if you need that extra boost to get you up the wall, the gummy bear pocket's
5 gummy bears.
So next up, we've got the So Ill Roam. This is a soft slipper, great for bouldering, gym climbing, sport climbing. It's a little bit less aggressive in terms of the profile, but it's a really nice, quick on and off.
It looks like a super comfy shoe.
Yeah, I actually was really pleasantly surprised at how comfortable it was despite it being a bit more of an aggressive shoe. And I never had any issues with the heel popping off despite not having any strap or closure system. So I thought these were great. I could take them off really quickly between boulders too, and they're really soft. So a lot of flexibility too if you're looking for something that's a little bit more sensitive.
So you said you bouldered in them. Would you wear them for any other applications?
I'd probably wear these in the gym. I really like wearing a slipper and a really soft shoe in the gym just to be able to train those foot muscles, to strengthen those foot muscles a little bit.
Any other fun facts about this shoe?
Yes, Jason Momoa works with So Ill a lot. So if you're looking for gratuitous Jason Momoa photos, head to So Ill on Instagram.
What do you think about the fit for this shoe?
So it's definitely on the narrower side. It also was a little bit bigger than the size that I got, so I'd probably downsize maybe 1 to 1.5 sizes. I'd also expect it to stretch maybe half a size after breaking it in properly. So I'd say, yeah, a healthy downsize, especially in a slipper where you want it to fit pretty snugly and you can take it on and off so easily.
Next up, we are talking about the Evolv V6. These have the Evolv signature love bump, which really helps direct power into your toes and is actually really comfortable. So instead of your toes being like all squished in the end of your shoe, they're just kind of nicely, gently curved around a nice little bump inside the sole. Definitely recommend sizing up on these. We recommend a half size up, but if you're looking for a more comfortable fit, try a whole size even. It might sound like a surprise, but seriously, street shoe size in this shoe is small.
What else did you notice about this shoe while we were out in Moe's?
Another cool feature about this shoe is that the closure actually has like a really nice adjustable strap. So it's a single Velcro, and then underneath you can actually tighten it. So if you find that this shoe is like too big for you, you can tighten up this strap and have a smaller fit. So it's great if you are feeling like you need a little bit more or a little bit less than what the shoe is offering for you.
And then were you able to test it out on any toe hooks, heel hooks, kind of steeper terrain while we were out there?
Yeah, this shoe has a ton of rubber on the toe, which for a moderate shoe is kind of rare. Like, I love that more and more companies are coming out with shoes with tons of toe rubber because we need them for toe hooks. Trying to toe hook in a lace shoe is just so hard. So this one has a single strap, so nothing's getting in the way of your toe and the rock and holding you onto the wall. This is a great shoe if you're looking for your very first aggressive shoe that's beyond a neutral flat shoe and you're trying to progress your climbing. This one is designed for people that are trying to push their boundaries. What shoe are we talking about next?
So here we've got the Black Diamond Aspect Pro. This is a shoe I'm really excited about. It is a trad specific shoe. It's a high top, very stiff feeling shoe, so it's gonna be great for edging in more technical terrain. I also really enjoyed this for crack climbing because of all the coverage on the sides, keep my ankles nice and covered. A couple other things about this shoe that I thought were really nifty were the laces actually have this really cool textured pattern to them that made locking in the fit a lot easier too. It didn't feel like they were gonna slip when I was taking the shoe on and off in between burns. The heel felt like it fit really well for being a bigger, stiffer shoe. Obviously there's not a ton of motion in the shoe itself and the midsole, so it's gonna give you a lot of comfort, especially on longer days. It's a very stiff shoe, but it's also gonna be great for some of that more technical edging that you might do in places like Little Cottonwood, Yosemite, or Sierra Granite too.
What else is special about this shoe?
So the leather upper that you've got right here, that white material, they process it with a little bit more of an environmentally focused approach in mind. So using a little bit less water and less chemicals with the construction of the shoe is a nice touch.
Okay, final question. How small do they go? Is there a shoe that will fit me from this line of shoes?
Totally. So they're unisex sizing. They go all the way down to a size 5 men's or 6 women's. Overall, it's a very neutral, flat shoe though, which is more along the lines of what I'd look for in a trad shoe.
Okay, last up, we have Scarpa's Force V, AKA Force 5 stars, because V is a Roman numeral for 5, and I loved this shoe. This is a super flat, neutral shoe, as you can see, like there is no crazy arch going on, and it's kind of perfect for trad climbing, or if you're just getting started. So I wore this trad climbing, it excelled at slab, which I was really surprised at. Like, it's a pretty rigid shoe. So it's really gonna hold your weight when you're trying to stand on kind of sketchy slab, like a little dish where you're like, maybe, will it work? I don't know. It's gonna hold, and that's a great thing. It's also super duper comfortable, which is huge when you're gonna be on the wall for a long time. For this shoe, in terms of sizing, I wear my street shoe size, and it was super comfortable. I really loved having plenty of space for my feet to kind of splay out in the toe box, and my heel never felt like it was lifting out of the shoe. It was a perfect fit at my street shoe size, and I wouldn't really recommend changing that. This shoe has 2 Velcro straps, so easy in, easy out. You can really customize the fit between the top of your forefoot and closer to your toes. And it has Vibram XS Edge rubber, so it's stiff, sticky, and fantastic for everything.
How did this feel wearing it all day while we were out?
So this has a ton of this padded mesh on the inside, so it's really comfortable, it's got a good squish to it, and it's also really breathable. So it was pretty hot when we were out trad climbing, and I didn't feel uncomfortable or I had sweaty feet at all, which is a huge win, especially when you're trying to desperately place a piece.
Nice.
And one last thing, this is a leather shoe, so if you're vegan, this is not the shoe for you. Okay, so that wraps up our climbing shoe review. Thank you so much for watching.
Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, reach out to a Gearhead, and we'll see you out there.
We did it!
Hey.
Woo!